Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, I want to share with you a story that many of us are quietly living through, but rarely dare to talk about. It's the story of aging, of how our bodies change, how our souls shift, of the bittersweet moments that come with it. But most importantly, the truth I want to tell you today might surprise you, even shock you. Aging is not the end. In fact, if you choose, it can become the brightest, most peaceful, and happiest chapter of your life. Have you ever sat alone, sighed deeply, and wondered whether the best years of your life are already behind you? Have you ever felt like a candle, burning low, your flame growing dimmer, your energy draining, your joy fading away? Many of us have had that thought, especially when we look in the mirror and see wrinkles where there used to be smooth skin, gray hairs where once there was color, or hands that now tremble when once they were steady. Some mornings, you wake up, your back aches, your joints stiff, and you whisper to yourself, maybe the best days are over. But I want you to stop there, because the truth is far less bleak than you imagine. Youth may be dazzling, yes, but aging has its own beauty, a beauty that is quiet, mature, and full of depth. If youth is a roaring fire, then aging is the glowing ember. Warm, steady, enduring, able to heat your heart and the hearts of those around you. I once met a woman in her 70s in an art class. I was surprised at her age. Instead of retiring quietly at home, she was beginning something entirely new. When I asked her why, she smiled softly and said, "All my life I gave to my family. Now it's time to live for myself. I don't want my final days to be just waiting. I want them to be worth remembering." Her words stayed with me. So many of us, when we're young, run endlessly after work, money, responsibilities, and forget to enjoy the very life we're building. Only when old age arrives, do we suddenly realize we barely gave ourselves any time. But if we're brave enough, aging becomes our second chance. A chance to begin again, to heal, to love ourselves more deeply. Aging does bring challenges, there's no denying it. Our bodies weaken, illnesses appear, loneliness may knock at our doors. But perhaps it's precisely these challenges that teach us resilience, that teach us to savor the smallest joys of life. Young people may walk past a sunset without a second thought, too busy rushing forward. But the elderly, having walked through storms already, can sit with a cup of tea, watch the sun sink slowly beyond the horizon, and smile with quiet gratitude. Happiness, sometimes, is hidden in such simple moments. I remember an old man of 82 whom I interviewed once. Every day, he walked to the park where a group of his friends gathered. They didn't do much, just talked, shared old stories, laughed at the same jokes they had told for years. But he told me, that's what keeps me alive. Knowing I'll meet them every morning gives me a reason to wake up. I don't feel alone. His words reminded me that aging only becomes heavy when we cut ourselves off from the world. As long as we connect, give, and receive, life continues to hold meaning. You may ask, but how can I find joy when everything has changed so much? The answer lies in acceptance and adaptation. When we age, our bodies aren't the same, but that doesn't mean we must give up. Instead of running marathons, we can practice yoga, take gentle walks, or dance slowly. Instead of working 12-hour shifts, we can spend 2 or 3 hours learning to paint, play an instrument, or write our memoirs. Instead of feeling ashamed of wrinkles, we can see them as marks of experience, the chapters of a story only we could live. Equally important is learning to love yourself. Older people often sacrifice for family, give endlessly to children and grandchildren, and forget themselves. But let me remind you, self-love is not selfish. In fact, it's how you recharge to continue giving. Buy yourself that new outfit. Try that new hairstyle. Travel somewhere you've always dreamed of. Don't wait for permission. Happiness is your right. I know women in their 80s who still travel across the world. Men in their 70s who still write books and compose music. And people who live quietly in small homes, yet find joy in tending flowers, feeding birds, or chatting with neighbors. Happiness doesn't depend on age. It depends on perspective. Too often, society looks at the elderly with pity, fragile, outdated, useless. But in truth, they are humanity's treasures. They carry wisdom, calmness, and patience the young have not yet earned. Each story they tell, each piece of advice they give, carries the weight of a lifetime. Instead of feeling diminished, you should feel proud. You've walked a long road, lived, loved, suffered, and rejoiced. Now you deserve to reap the harvest. If you're listening to me right now, remember this: aging does not mean the end of love, passion, or dreams. You can still love. You can still begin again. You can still learn something new. Aging does not limit you. Only your fear does. So give yourself a chance. Start something small today. Write one page in a journal. Call an old friend. Stretch your body gently. Listen to music that stirs your soul. Do that, and you'll see aging is not rigid, it's tender, gentle, and full of joy, if only you allow it. Someone once said, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. So keep playing, keep laughing, keep discovering, because as long as you carry that spirit, you'll always be young. And finally, if there's only one thing you remember from all I've said, let it be this: the most shocking truth about aging is this: you can still be happier and more radiant than ever, if you choose to believe it. Don't let these years be a sad ending. Let them be the start of a new chapter. A chapter filled with light, peace, and love.